guys, today is Saturday, December 29th, 2025. My hair is fading very unevenly. That's the pink I had underneath it coming through on this spot. Like I didn't get enough dye on that or something. Oh well, it's gonna stay like that for a little while. I'm getting ready to go to the gym. I actually don't work today, which is nice. I didn't do my makeup for a couple of days. We were so busy with like Christmas and everything. Is it the 29th or the 27th? Did I say 29th? It's 27th. Sorry. Christmas was so much fun. So Christmas Eve, I spent the day at one of my neighbors, the one that I work for, and helped her make all of her food. We made 2 kinds of lasagna. One of them was a seafood lasagna. We made some cake and a bunch of other stuff. We were just like cooking all day. I'm gonna sneeze, I think. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not. Anyway, we got everything done, prepped and ready for what needed to go in the oven the next day. And then Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve in the evening, we had the kids open up all their gifts. It was so good. Okay, like I always worry that I'm going to disappoint the kids in some way, because occasionally that happens where I just kind of miss the mark on the gifts and somebody's disappointed. Not this year. Everybody was happy. I worked so hard to make Christmas happen too. Back in October, I took on extra hours at work and extra projects, and I was just, working really hard. That way I could spend freely for Christmas without going into debt. With 9 kids to buy gifts for, it gets expensive. So I start planning for Christmas pretty far ahead. And I wanted to get my husband a specific gift that was kind of expensive. So anyway, I did all my Christmas shopping in October. I had all the gifts wrapped by Halloween, except for the one for my husband, because that took a little longer to, it's not here yet. Like I just made it. I just made it right before, like 2 days before Christmas, but obviously it's not going to get here by then. But he's a grown-up, so it's okay. Anyway, so the older kids, they're just, like not really into gifts anymore. Even my adult boys were like, Mom, you don't have to get me anything. But I was like, I've worked really hard. I've made a budget so I can get everybody something. So I'm giving you something. So most of the older ones, I just gave them cash. And I was like, spend it on whatever you want to spend it on. And they did. Dylan bought a bunch of like Dubai chocolate. And Braytech bought a bunch of brand name clothing. Robbie put his into savings. I don't think he spent any of it. And Ronan bought a beer making kit for his beer bread. And it was like an expensive, like a home brewery thing. Anyway, so all the kids, they have, the 3 little ones, their interests are all pretty close to the same. So I mostly got them the same gifts in different colors. And they loved it. they got like kitchen sets, and like Ellie got a little coffee house set, and Theo got a fast food set, you know, and then like little miniature toys, puppies, kittens, that sort of thing. Taylor and Corbin are both into My Hero Academia, so I got them some of that stuff. Those are harder to find. You can't really find those new, so I got a lot of their stuff on resale shops. And hang on a second. Anyway, so got a lot of Taylor and Corbin stuff on resale shops. And then I also got them those magnetic Minecraft blocks for all the kids. And then Rob bought a card game for the family. It's kind of like similar to Cards Against Humanity, so it's obviously not like a little kid game. And the older teens, me and Rob and our grown kids, were playing that, and it was a lot of fun. It's so much fun having grown-up kids and being able to like relate to them as adults and have, you know, conversations you would never have with a child. Anyway, so kids opened all their gifts, and then Christmas morning, Robbie made breakfast. He made toasted bagels with cream cheese and onion jam. And then Ronan put on his ducky suit. So he got this outfit that's got like rubber duckies all over it, and this hat, and he put like a plushy rubber ducky on it, and that's his delivery outfit now. So he goes around our neighborhood delivering food all day to our elderly neighbors that didn't have any Christmas plans. So he shows up with breakfast, and then Ronan had made a chocolate pie the day before, and we had pie after breakfast. And of course, he went around giving pieces of pie to our neighbors too. And then he started making homemade bread, because for lunch he made homemade bread sandwiches with grilled chicken Alfredo, and it was so good. He handed that out to the neighbors as well. And then Dylan came over and he started making the ham. And I boiled potatoes, and Rob made the mashed potatoes while I made gravy. And so we had ham and mashed potatoes. And I did put vegetables in the oven, and I burnt them because I forgot they were in there. And so the vegetables kind of just got tossed into the compost. And then at some point I went over to my neighbor's house to help her put the really heavy lasagnas into the oven before her family came over. And then when we then Ronan made caramel rolls. And this was getting towards the end of the day. It was like 5 o'clock-ish. And he brought over caramel rolls to our neighbors. And the neighbor that I had helped cook the day before gave us almost a whole pan of seafood lasagna. And that was really nice. So I ended up eating like 6 meals. It was insane. I still feel kind of bloaty. And then yesterday I didn't go to the gym either because I just felt kind of ugh after eating all that food. But I'm definitely going to the gym today. I feel so bloaty and chunky right now from all the holiday food. So I'm definitely going on a diet. But anyway, it was really fun. It was really, really fun. We had a great time. It is so icy out. We had freezing rain the last 2 days. And so I went over to my neighbors to make sure their paths were salted and everything. And one of my neighbors, bless her heart, she told me the salt that she was using was in her garage, and I went to look for it, and all I found was little fish tank rocks. And I was like, is this what you've been using? Yeah, that's the salt. She says it doesn't really melt the snow, but it gives good traction. And I was like, honey, this is not salt. This is fish tank rocks. And she's like, really? So I went and bought her some salt. I'm like, doll, you are adorable. Oh my goodness. It was pretty funny. But yeah, we were just kind of on the go and just stuffing ourselves the whole time. It was a good day. There was still that, that heaviness that never really leaves, missing Tilk. I had a dream about him. It was really fun. Right now I'm working on relearning how to draw anatomy, like muscles, arms, and legs, because I've done like childlike cartoons for so long. I used to draw like more anatomical anime style, but it's been a long time. And Taylor's taking it up, and so she's been giving me tips on how to draw these things better. So I was practicing, and I was using my own photos to do that. And my I had color blocked the drawing with like skin color because I wanted to make the clothes interchangeable. Like I wanted to make a bunch of different outfits for this drawing. And so I was just making the body, and I had color blocked it, and I was working on the shading. Ellie saw it, and she got really upset, and she goes, why doesn't she have underwear? It was literally like there was no like body parts or anything. Like everything that was going to be under the clothes was just like a peach color. And she's like, it has to have underwear. So I drew an underwear layer. That's pretty funny. Oh, and I don't know if I told you guys about the baby seed thing. So the other day I was wrestling around with the kids, and the 3 little ones, I may have already said this, so if I did, I apologize. The 3 little ones were sad that they're never gonna have a baby brother or sister. And I'm like, guys, I've already had 10 kids. We're not doing that again. And they were upset. Well, mommy, could you have more babies? And I'm like, physically, yes, I could. My body is strong, healthy. I could have another pregnancy. I just don't want to. And I said, but daddy can't because daddy has no more baby seeds. He got a vasectomy after the twins were born. And so Theo goes, can't you just get more baby seeds from the baby seed store? So, well, it doesn't actually work that way. And then Naomi says, Why, Mom, you said grown-up men make baby seeds. Why don't you just ask somebody for their baby seeds? And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not going up to some guy and asking for his baby seeds. And Ellie goes, that's okay, Mom. Dad can ask. He can go, hey, friends, can I have your baby seeds? Oh my gosh. I laughed so hard. I was like, oh my gosh, you kids have no idea. This is hilarious. And then, so they were wondering what babies growing in the belly actually look like. So I found a video that's like 4 minutes long, and it's like a 3D animation. It's kind of an old video. The kids pointed out, like I've showed this to the other kids many times, but the quality of the video was made for TVs when they weren't HD, so it looks kind of grainy now. But anyway, I showed him this video, and it goes through like fetal development and stuff, and Ellie goes, you mean to tell me I look like a fish? I was like, well, yeah, everybody looked like that. And she goes, ah, ah. And she got so mad, and she like covers up her head, and she's like, how dare you? I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I can't believe you made me look like a fish. And I'm like, no, everybody looked like that at some point. Oh my gosh. I feel like I just got an eyelash in my eye. I hate when that happens. Can't decide if I want to do face paint today or not. So I've been using this shampoo from Arctic Fox that actually, like, it takes longer for the hair to fade. And I'm kind of liking that because, like, it stayed black for longer than it normally does. And the color's staying darker, except for that weird little patch right there. I did not hear from my dad at all through Christmas. Actually, I haven't heard from him since... Well, his wife texted me on Thanksgiving just to say Happy Thanksgiving. But I haven't heard from him much at all since I told him I couldn't come to visit. I was going to go visit him at the end of September. That really didn't work out because of, well, several things. But primarily, it just... it just didn't happen. And I think he's upset about it. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because he just kind of like falls off the face of the planet all the time. Like it might be months, sometimes even years that I don't hear from him, even though like I text him and send him pictures and stuff. But I do get worried because the last couple of times that happened, he was actually in the hospital and nobody told us. His wife didn't tell us. Well, I guess he really doesn't have a whole lot of friends. Nobody else that's connected to him and me at the same time. He just kind of disappears. And there's been like, I'm going to say like 4 or 5 times in the last couple of years where I don't hear from him for months, and then I find out, oh yeah, he was in the hospital fighting for his life or something. Like, oh yeah, he had a stroke. So it's like, I don't know. So I do get worried when I don't hear from him. But at the same time, there's really not anything I can do about it. It's just one of those things, I guess. I'm not sure. I thought about doing face paint, but I'm not entirely sure, like, what I want to go with, like, what sort of theme. Problem about face paint is then I can't use filters on my videos at all because it wipes out the paint. And the filters, sometimes I like using the filters, especially for the lighting, or it makes my eyes look bigger. I don't use filters on all of my videos. There's a lot of them that I don't. But I don't have the greatest lighting in my hallway, and the filters seem to make up for that. I've got several paint colors. I think I've got an idea of what I want to do. I know at both of my jobs, they really get excited about my face paint. I didn't do my makeup at all yesterday because I had to deal with a 1/4 inch of ice on my car. I had to scrape it, and it took quite a bit of time. And I was still getting caught up on the dishes from Christmas. I must have done like 4 or 5 loads of dishes Christmas Day. And there was still more to do. So I just sort of like didn't bother with my makeup. And then both of my clients were a little bit disappointed that I didn't have any makeup at all. They they're like, oh, bummer. How do I want to do this? I think I need my petal brush. Where's my petal brush? I don't know what I did with it. Maybe it's in here. I try to keep my face paint brushes separate from my regular brushes, but I tend to like toss them in here without really paying attention sometimes. I'm not seeing it. Oh, that's why. It's right here. This isn't exactly the petal brush I bought for face paint. It's actually a different one. I need to activate both the colors that I'm going to use though. Okay. Now I can double dip. Oh, I like that. Paint. Oh, that doesn't look very defined. Oh. I don't like how that one turned out. It's not too bad though, overall. And I'm going to go in with this darker one and make some little swirls. I think. The dark swirls might have been a bit too much. I'm not sure yet. Ah, I don't like that. That's not too bad. Still feel like it's missing something though. Me, I'll go in with this other pink color, more of like a Barbie pink. Make some little polka dots. Not too bad. It kind of came together pretty good, yeah. Although I think I'm going to do some white polka dots too. Oops, I didn't clean that one up. Got some pink in my white. I really want to get to the gym, but I'm trying to wait till around lunchtime. Because if I go too early, I risk running into the guy that screams every time he lifts. And I can't stand working out in an environment where somebody's constantly screaming. Plus, he like sets up all the equipment. He actually broke something recently because he maxes everything out. And like, he's a professional bodybuilder and everything, like, good for him, but he makes it really hard for other people to use the gym. And I just feel like it's really disrespectful to set up all the equipment so nobody else can work out. And then, you know, he's there for like 2 or 3 hours sometimes. So I mostly try to avoid mornings because that's usually when he's in there. I really like how that turned out. Anyway, I'll see you all real soon.